Caleb Williams, USC going to Chicago. That is the first pick of the 2024 NFL Draft. How we doing out there, guys? It's Richie X Jr. Sports Podcast. After trading Justin Fields, no surprise here. I think it goes without saying that this was most definitely going to be the move. I personally think that Jayden Daniels is the most talented of the bunch. I think he's the most proven. But it is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, he is excited too. Hugging it up with Commissioner Goodell. I think the Bears, even if this is the right move and they finally get their elusive quarterback, franchise-wise, they haven't had one. I mean, you can make a case that it's Jay Cutler over the years. You'd have to go back to pre-merger to find someone who deserves to be called a franchise quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I think they made a big mistake trading Justin Fields. They finally got him some toys. I think they should have kept him. But, got to give Caleb Williams a chance to see what it's going to be. Per usual, there's always a lot of controversy that is going to surround anyone that goes number one overall in any particular year of the draft. And, it's an exciting time for NFL fans. It really is. The entire Bears brass looks very excited. We got 5:55 until the Washington Commanders are on the clock. I think what goes without saying, it's probably Jayden Daniels. I got to say, nobody does it like the NFL when it comes to draft drama. I got to say that much. Nobody does it quite like the NFL. I must respect that.
Caleb, you told me you've been dreaming of this moment ever since you were a little kid. You have always wanted to be the #1 pick in the NFL draft. What did it take to get here?
It took a lot of sacrifice, love, care for winning the game of football, my teammates, my coaches, and my family.
You won a Heisman Trophy. You're the #1 pick in the NFL draft. What is your next goal as a member of the Chicago Bears?
Learn all my teammates' names, their families, learn the playbook, and get ready to go win games.
All right, congratulations, Caleb.
Learn their names? If you ask me, that's a bit of a shitty answer. How do you not know who your teammates are? An organization that is about to change your life completely. That is a terrible, terrible answer. A terrible, terrible answer. Shows a lot of immaturity, if you ask me. That was one of my issues with this young man, at least in the way he portrays himself to the media outlets. You take a guy like a journeyman, like a Josh Johnson, that in emergency duty in the NFC title game a couple of years ago, pretty much knew everybody on the 49ers when he got called upon. He's a career backup. He's a guy, I think he's a distant cousin of Michael Vick, if I'm not mistaken. But he was always a player that was always ready to pick up the playbook and get to work. Now, obviously not on the level of a guy like, Zappy got a Zach Martin Notre Dame signed helmet. He's at a Dallas Cowboys draft party. Good for you, Zap. That is friggin' awesome. I don't like the answer. I do not like that answer. I think it's a little too immature for my liking. Little too immature. Draft room. Everyone in the war room for the Commanders looks relatively calm right now. What I do think is a little funny with the NFL draft is that this is the second overall pick. I mean, I know that part of it is for the show, no question about it, but what are we waiting for? We know it's Jayden Daniels, right? Gotta know that. I would be miffed and completely flabbergasted in the event that I would be completely flabbergasted if the Commanders went to North Carolina to 2 consecutive times at the quarterback position. Former quarterback Sam Howell is currently a member of the Seattle Seahawks, but that would be pretty wild if indeed that happens. Okay, they're on the clock. 246, 244. Winding down. Great energy in Detroit. That's a good football city. Great fans considering their limited success in the Super Bowl era. Great football city. Jaden Daniels looking pretty cool. He's relaxed, just kind of waiting. All right, they're shaking hands. It looks like we should be getting an announcement soon. They're hugging it up in the Washington War Room. Notice Booger McFarland rocking the darker orange with the blue tie. Is Booger rooting for the Knicks tonight? I'm just playing, but I thought it was kind of noticeable. One thing I got to say about tonight's draft that I appreciated from the panel pre-show was the tribute to Chris Mortensen. I believe that Chris Mortensen was always just a terrific voice for the NFL draft, and it's not the type of person that you could replace. So I'm very happy, very, very happy that they were able to kind of bring in a little bit of tidbits that some folks might not know, especially the younger generation of football fans. Here we go.
With the second pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jaden Daniels.
No surprise. Great pick, Commanders. Great pick. We're going to be dealing with this young man for a long time to come, my New York Football Giants. This kid is going to be excellent. That's a lifetime of work right there since playing Pee-wees. You know, you see the family members. This is life-changing, you know. NFL draft is awesome. Good for him. All right, things are about to start getting interesting, potentially. We have the New England Patriots who have been linked to both the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants to make a potential trade. I do believe that anything's on the board right now for New England. They might surprise everybody and go wide receiver, but when you consider that the draft equity that they could obtain from 2 quarterback-needy teams, you got the Vikings that have 11 and 23 that they could move on from. You've got the New York Giants sitting at 6 that are probably going to part ways with Daniel Jones at season's end. Oh, man, Zappy wants to be a part of this. Let's get him in here. Okay, I'm back, guys. My co-host Mike Zappy is at a Dallas Cowboys draft party, and he will be joining me momentarily. Really happy that he's hanging out there with his little man, and he got some cool merch. You know, you get a signed Notre Dame helmet. You know, he's a big Irish fan. That's just nothing short of awesome. I myself am an Irish fan, and that is on my bucket list of to-dos to get out to South Bend and to see the Irish. I did see them in FSU, a game that they won. Felt like kind of like a man on an island. My section didn't have too many Notre Dame fans. Man, Jaden's got some touch. This kid is going to be a phenomenal quarterback. Mike Zappy, how you doing, boss? Good to see you.
Doing well, man. Over here live from the Star in Frisco, Texas, waiting on the Patriots and the Giants to make this deal.
Yeah, it might be happening, but I'm getting a little excited here. Trying to be even keel, but it's not that simple. It's loud out there, buddy.
You got to kind of play it by ear. If the Giants want Drake May, this is it. You got to give them the trade package. I still stand by it that the Patriots should be trading with the Giants and not the Vikings. Oh, the pick is in. Patriots are taking Drake May.
Oh boy.
So it looks like it's either going to be JJ or.
So the Patriots are staying put. The Patriots are staying put.
So they're going Drake May. Brett got his wish.
I really thought that with so many quarterback-needy teams, the Patriots could have really got over here. But at the same time, in a quarterback-driven league, you got to get your man. If you got to get your man, you got to get your man. And then if we're talking about trades, this solely focuses now on the Arizona Cardinals potentially trading back.
Yeah, and honestly, it might be simply, we talked about a lot of things that could be smoke. This could simply be smoke where the Patriots wanted to field and see what they can get, where Arizona is now going to be the trade partner. I mean, absolutely. It might be J.J. McCarthy the whole time for the Giants. So there's a lot of things to look into right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Zappy.
So far, no surprises, though. I mean, Caleb Williams, that might be the shocker of the century, number one. Jaden Daniels, second shocker. And now I feel the draft is about to begin. Are the Patriots going to throw a curveball and take J.J. McCarthy instead, or are they going to stick with Drake May? What is Arizona going to do? Are they going to take Marvin Harrison, or are they going to trade back? San Diego, are they going to take Joel Alt, or are they going to trade back? The Giants, are they going to stand put and let the draft fall to them, which they might be. So there's a lot.
Which is what I always wanted. They just put up a metric on the screen, Zap, of all the Washington quarterbacks over the years.
There you go.
I think it's going to be Drake May, Zappy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Drake May as well. Or, I mean,
Brett.
would it be Michael Penix here? I don't think so.
No, not
But
Michael
Drake May's not
Penix.
celebrating.
Are they going to really go back to
Drake
Michigan?
May's not celebrating here, so is it
He's
not
got
Drake
that
May?
perturbed look. Drake May's got that perturbed look on his face.
I said it before that I think if there's going to be a Will Levis this year, it's going to be Drake May.
He looks a little
God, is it JJ
perturbed.
McCarthy? Or
They're
do
going back to
do they
Michigan,
shock the
dude.
world, take Marvin? Here we go. Here, in case you guys want to watch it.
With the third pick, the 2024 NFL Draft.
Get that.
Boom.
Drake May. You know who I want,
Got
Zappy.
drafted by the Patriots.
You know who I want, Zappy. Look at this. Did you see that dude with the silver? Did you see that dude with the electrical tape?
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny, bro.
All right, so the draft now begins. Are the Vikings going to be able to pull off a trade to move up and jump the Giants for J.J. McCarthy? Or is J.J. McCarthy going to be the guy that drops out of the top 10? Cardinals are on the clock.
Arizona has no incentive to stay at that position, Zappy, because they could still get one of the top 3 wide receivers in the nation and get some more draft equity from a quarterback-thirsty team like my New York Giants, the Minnesota Vikings, or even the Denver Broncos, should they part with Patrick Surtain and spice up the deal a little.
And I'll be honest with you, man. There's a good possibility right now that Arizona trades out of this spot. Minnesota moves up.
I just said it. I don't know if you heard me.
The Chargers take Joel Alt, and then the Giants have their choice of all 3 receivers.
There is a possibility of that too, Zappy. The guy that I want, if it comes down to the choice of Neighbors, Odunze, or Harrison, I'll be honest, I'm going Neighbors if I'm the G-Men.
I want Marvin Harrison. I like Neighbors a lot too, but there's a short sample on Malik Neighbors, and that's the only thing that issue I have with him, where Marvin Harrison has been consistent throughout his collegiate career. Not to mention having the father figure like Marvin Harrison Sr. to
Well, that is definitely
career.
the second generation. The second generation theme in this draft is pretty amazing. You got Brendan Rice, son of the GOAT of all tight ends. You've got
Receivers.
Ed McCaffrey's. Yeah, you got. Hey, sorry about that. I said tight end. I'm excited. I'm thinking about Brock Bowers, Zappy. Let me explain myself.
Hey, right now, don't worry about Brock Bowers. No, you're right. We got Rice. We got Luke McCaffrey. McConkey, his father played.
Yes, correct. Ladd McConkey is the son of Phil McConkey.
Yep. There's I believe one more. So there's definitely. It's crazy because look at Kirkpatrick, the cornerback that played at Alabama. His son is getting ready to come out here soon. So there's a lot.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting, dude.
Will they make a deal, or are they going to take Marvin Harrison?
Did they get it right? Did the New England Patriots get this right, Zappy?
Yeah, absolutely. If that's, when you see a lot of teams trying to trade up to number 3, that means then obviously the interest is very high in Drake May. You look at Drake May, he could have fit so many different systems. Personally, I think the Patriots wanted Jaden Daniels with Drake May being the alternate plan, and I got to say the Patriots got it right. They needed a quarterback.
Drake May's going to be the recreation of Mac.
My son said Drake May is the recreation of Mac Jones.
Dude, I want your feedback on this, Zappy. What did you think about Caleb Williams' answer? Well, I got to learn my teammates' names. This team has been asking you for 6 months, and you don't know anybody's names on the team. That's the best answer you could give. Caleb Williams, bust alert. Caleb Williams, bust alert. I'm saying it right now.
All right, Cardinals are not trading.
Shocker.
It's got to be.
Are the New York Giants about to move up to 4 and get the man that helped navigate the national title run for the Michigan Wolverines?
All right, Marvin looks like he's getting ready to blow up. Hey, maybe you guys do trade up to 5 and get JJ anyways.
I mean, it's less equity the closer you get. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But, man, does history repeat itself 20 years later? The Chargers and the Giants trading again? 20 years ago, Eli Manning for Phillip Rivers.
You realize, 20 years ago, no kidding. You realize that it's been 15 years or 14 years, one of the two, that we have had 2 Heisman winners drafted in the same draft. This year with Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels going 1-2. Last time it happened was in Cam Newton and Mark Ingram.
It goes without saying, Zappy, that this is the year to draft a quarterback, to your point. Everything you just said is why this is the year to draft that quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There we go. It's got to be Marvin Harrison. I mean, I guess I could see Malik Neighbors, but... Stram Barton, Jackson Howard Johnson, or I'll take Zach Frazier or Patrick Hall.
Zappy, I'm going to bring you in on the solo layout. Walk me around a little. You're on the solo layout. Walk me around.
2024 NFL Draft. The Arizona Cardinals select Marvin Harrison Jr.
Holy shit. Okay.
Cardinals might be better. Cardinals might be better. Marvin Harrison.
Marvin is the only one who was a 2-time All-American. In fact, he was unanimous first team both times. Also won the Biletnikoff Award on 144 balls for the past 2 seasons, 28 touchdowns.
Rich, are you still there?
I'm here, brother. I gave you the solo layout.
Oh, gotcha. I was really confused. I mean, no shocker here. We got Marvin Harrison now coming up to Arizona. It's clear that Kyler Murray did enough last year that warranted him staying the team's franchise quarterback. Now you go get him a true number one receiver, something they haven't really had since Larry Fitzgerald. I guess you could say DeAndre Hopkins, but Hopkins, the last few years has not really been anything. I love this pick for the Cardinals because now it opens things up with their second pick at 27. So it's a great pick. This is the pick that the Cardinals were supposed to make, and they made it. So, they're doing the right thing so far. But now the intriguing part starts. What are the Chargers going to do? Are they going to take Joe Alt, or are they going to trade back with you guys? The Chargers are in a prime position right now. They can trade with the Vikings. They can trade with you guys. They get their man. There's so many things. Or do they even wave Tennessee and say, hey, do you really want Joe Alt? Come get him.
No. The Los Angeles Chargers are going to trade with the Minnesota Vikings.
New York Giants are on the clock.
You troll. Taking advantage of the fact that I got the headphones in.
I think I'm going to rule out the Broncos coming up to number 5.
Nah, that's too much equity for the Broncos. The Broncos can still get a Bo Nix later in this draft, which is what I think they want.
Yeah, and really, when you look at Bo Nix and Sean Payton, Bo Nix is getting a lot of comparisons to that of Drew Brees. And if there's a guy that can coach a Drew Brees style quarterback, it's Sean Payton. So
hefty assessment. I think Bo Nix is going to be okay at best. I don't think he's going to have a great career. Man, Zappy, I keep pacing, bro. I'm nervous.
We're at 5.5 minutes.
I am honestly getting nervous, dude.
We might be looking at a trade back here by the Giants.
It's possible because I say to myself, right? If you have your choice between one of the top 3 receivers, and if you have, or Brock Bowers, you're getting a phenomenal blocker and an undeniable superstar at the tight end position that this team hasn't seen since the days of a Jeremy Shockey.
You're getting Mark Bavaro.
You're getting Bavaro on the blocking, but from an athleticism standpoint, I do believe that you're going to see and just running people over.
All right, we're at 4.5 minutes. Chargers have got to be on the phone right now. They've got to be on the phone with the Giants. They've got to be on the phone with the Vikings.
The Cardinals just wet their notes there. You saw that?
Oh, what are we gonna do? We know the Chargers want an all-line, and we know they want a receiver. We know they want to trade back. I mean, they're under a new regimen with Jim Harbaugh. They got some holes to fill. I think they got to go O-line here. I think they need to go solidify that O-line when you consider that Jim Harbaugh is a run-first type of head coach.
Trade back. They could still fill the needs. Trade back.
100%.
So far, our trade ratio is 4-0.
Yeah, no trade so far. That was the question.
I'm shocked. I thought we would have seen it already. It might be coming soon. Does history repeat itself with the Chargers and the New York Football Giants?
Cowboys Nation! Where we at, baby? Come on! Come on! Come on! We got Rowdy in the house! Rowdy!
Live out here. A beautiful area. I love to start here in Frisco, just full of fans.
Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Bring them out, 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 bring them out. Coming live from the VIP, heard the night lights off lights with that new roll.
Some of the draft day festivities going on over here, live from Frisco, Texas, once again at the Dallas Cowboys draft party for the 2024 NFL Draft. Still sitting there at number 24, trying to figure out what direction we're going to go. We're obviously going to let the board fall to us. We've already got 5 picks off the board, or 4 picks. The Chargers are on the clock in a matter of, are they going to trade back or are they going to take their man right now? We love every minute of it. great atmosphere right now. Having a bunch of Cowboys players here, a bunch of Cowboys fans, good beer, good food, great time. I'll just put it like that.
Zappy, I wanted to ask you while we're on the commercial break here, what were your thoughts on the rendition of the Star Spangled Banner? I thought it was kick-ass.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I loved it.
I mean, I wouldn't expect it any other way coming from Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had the national anthem twice today already. Once at the Rangers game earlier and now here.
That's right. You were at the Texas Rangers game earlier today. Unfortunately, tough loss for you guys, but you guys got to get healthy.
Yeah, and you know, Max Scherzer just completed his first rehab assignment. You know, he threw 3 innings, striked out 3 guys. He did give up 2 solo home runs, but it's his first game back since last year, and I'm happy with it.
Absolutely. Max Scherzer is a future Hall of Famer. You get him for the stretch run, and you get back potentially DeGrom, you guys are going to be A-OK. You also need George Young to make that return as well.
Yeah, Josh Young. We're looking at about another 3 to 5 weeks before he's back. But the other positive thing to look at is the fact that the AL
I said George Young.
Lead on Texas. So,
I said George Young. Shout out Johnny Depp.
Obviously, if you look at it the way it happened last year, where the Rangers took off early, this year they're in a fight early, and that's the case whenever you have 3 starting pitchers on the IL, and you have your third baseman on IL, your first baseman started the year on IL. Like it's a hard recipe to overcome. We still don't have anything yet. Nothing yet. All right, Rich, check it out. Okay, I got a Broncos fan here. You think Surtain gets traded today? No, he thinks Surtain's staying a Bronco. He's staying a Bronco, he said.
Well, given how much money they're paying Russell Wilson, I can't guarantee that.
Yeah, fact. I figured if you're going to try to trade up to get Drake May or J.J. McCarthy, you're going to have to give up Surtain, you know? Yeah, no doubt.
Have him introduce himself, man.
Well, I'm here at the Star, home of the Cowboys practice facility, Dallas Cowboys headquarters. There is a good showing of other fans here, not just Cowboys fans, and I love that. I love the diversity where, yeah, you're in Dallas, but it welcomes everybody.
No, absolutely, man. Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. All right. I think they're going all Joe Alt. Yep, there it is. What did I say? Go Joe Alt.
Holy shit. If the New York Giants want their quarterback, they got him.
I have been on record multiple times that I was firm that the Giants trade up and get J.J. McCarthy. Now he has fallen right to your lap. I mean, you guys couldn't have asked for a better situation right now. Not to mention Malik Neighbors is there also.
You have a future Hall of Famer right now that just got drafted. That is a future Hall of Famer, barring injuries.
320 pounds. That is a mountain of a man. And then once you get past the size, the first thing
Look at that thing over there. We got an armadillo here.
6'8", almost 6'9", dude. That is a huge human being. 321 pounds.
I don't know how we have this here, but somehow he's here representing Dallas.
It's incredible.
I still think that this is a perfect position for the Giants to trade back with the Jets.
Jets could get Malik Neighbors.
Exactly.
Giants would have a choice at that point. But that's where you run the risk. That is where you run the risk of losing out on J.J. McCarthy to the Denver Broncos, possibly.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that?
You run the risk of losing out on J.J. McCarthy, possibly, because the Broncos could swoop in if the Giants trade back.
Which is fine because, you know, once again, one thing you guys have, hey, so we got our biggest Cowboy fan right here walking away. There he is.
What's going on, brother?
All right. I think the Giants are in prime position. This is a perfect spot to trade back. This is a perfect spot to take your quarterback, take your receiver. I don't think the Giants can get this part wrong, to be honest with you.
Oh boy, I hope you're right, because unfortunately I have seen them get it wrong in these positions before, but this is a new regime. This is a more competent regime.
Look, I'll say this. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, the pick is in. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Huh?
Zappy, turn your screen.
It's got to be JJ.
Turn your screen, Zappy. Turn your screen.
Really, the Giants put an awful lot of work into quarterbacks in the one amount of time. But they also know that they need wide receiver help. They need offensive playmakers.
We roll deep, baby. Big Blue. We roll deep.
More towards the wide receiver as much as they like JJ McCarthy.
I don't want to see Malik Neighbors in New York. Wow, it sounds like you guys are not going JJ.
You believe that JJ McCarthy is a franchise quarterback. I'm not of the belief that you just kind of build up everything around the quarterback and then you just conveniently select the quarterback.
And it's crazy if you guys get Malik Neighbors, who has a lot of similarities to OBJ.
I did notice that. Well, I mean, and it's not just the fact that they attended the same school, but
Has it worked out? You can't continue to work with that mindset thinking, I just always build up around it and then get the quarterback later. Is a franchise quarterback, then you go ahead and you absolutely take him. If you don't, then he's going to you think that guy on your screen is an absolute beast. So go ahead and go wrong.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting nervous.
yeah, man, I'm stressed out right now. It's a quarterback-driven league. That's one thing that we cannot deny.
All right, here comes the commish.
To answer your question, Randy, it's really simple. I'm taking Malik Davis. He's the most explosive player at the receiver position in the draft. The Giants receivers absolutely stink.
Gotta be.
With the sixth pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Malik Neighbors.
Wow.
Mixed feelings, dude. I'm not doing a backflip. Mixed feelings.
Now, what happens now? Do the Titans trade back? Joe Alt's off the board. This is the perfect position for the Broncos and Vikings
1,559
to trade up to
receiving
get JJ.
yards. 1,559 receiving yards. LPG is happy. Joe Ruback looks like he's pretty happy.
Well, you guys got your number one, something that has been eluding the New York Giants since the days of OBJ. You know, obviously this is a good pick because you got to take into consideration that Jalen Hyatt is the guy that can spread the field for you guys. Now you bring in a true number one from Malik Neighbors. I mean, maybe, hey, you have Daniel Jones in the contract, so now it's time for him to show it.
This is either going to be the beginning of the turnaround, or it could be the beginning of the end for Shane and Dable. That will be revealed. I like the pick. Don't get me wrong. I like the pick. Don't get me wrong. I like the pick. But now it appears that they will not go quarterback.
We got Cowboys players being introduced right now.
They may not get a quarterback in this draft. If you are the Giants and you still entertain drafting a quarterback, which direction do you go now? I think you have to consider. Maybe Michael Pratt at a Tulane late.
Sorry, bud. They're introducing Cowboys players right now on the stage. Let's go, Zach! Get it. All right, see my Notre Dame helmet. Yeah.
Zappy, we're coming up on the 35-minute mark right now. I'm gonna let you enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off. If you go live again, I'll join you. But I'm gonna enjoy some of these festivities. I wanted to be on until the Giants made their pick. Now we're about to see the run on linemen and stuff. So obviously that affects Dallas, but I'm sure we're gonna see a trade or two. But if you go live again here in a bit, let me know and I will join.
Sounds great, kid. Enjoy your time out there with your son. Have a blast. And we will be in the studio soon enough. Be safe out there, bro.
Hopefully I'll have my offensive lineman.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right, bud.
Later, brother.
Enjoy the draft weekend, guys, because this is only once a year.
This is even part of the problem that's going on with New York. They have other things to fix. Can you protect Daniel Jones?
All right. Aftermath of that deal. This is what I believe. I don't necessarily think this is a pure overall belief in Daniel Jones. I think this is more of an organization acknowledging that even with essentially since Odell Beckham left this organization, they have not been able to get honest production out of the wide receiver one position. And I also do believe that perhaps they did not see from J.J. McCarthy what maybe they intended. There was a lot of time spent with J.J. McCarthy, and I really did think that potentially he was going to be a New York Giant. I got to think at this juncture that the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos alike have got to be thinking about trading up and potentially snag McCarthy. There are definitely mixed feelings. And I haven't even opened up the threads for my fan base, but I know that there are going to be mixed feelings from Giant fans all over the country because you have people that absolutely cannot stand Daniel Jones, and you have others who believe that he has never been given much of anything around him and also some bad luck. I, for one, believe that Daniel Jones does struggle with his progressions, and I don't just think it's one to blame on whether you have an injury to a Saquon Barkley over the years. Before, you had years with Evan Ingram, a guy who was constantly hurt. His best, and honestly, last year, his only true lineman, who happens to be an All-Pro, Andrew Thomas, missed a huge chunk of the season. If you saw my reaction, I wasn't over the top, and I also wasn't upset either. This is a team that has legitimate needs, and this is a team also that could be looking at a long season. Do you want to part with draft capital? They had McCarthy if they wanted him. They didn't draft him. And I said it to Zappy. I say it again. We will find out. We will find out if indeed Joe Shane and Brian Dable hit a homer here, or if this sets them back a couple of years. I have zero doubts about the ability of a Malik Neighbors. I have a high faith in the kind of ball player the Giants just got. The question is, will the combo of Jones and Neighbors get it done? And this also begs to question, are the Giants going to get out of the Daniel Jones deal after this season? Or is that their ride or die, and they're gonna say we are right? You support whoever is under center for your team. We as fans can only suggest and suggest some more about what we believe should happen. This kid is only a year removed from winning a playoff game with limited toys outside of Pro Bowler, not All Pro that year, Pro Bowler, Saquon Barkley. But when you look at the Giants' additions in this offseason, you pick up a John Runyon, who is a proven veteran. They improved on the right side of the line and the left side of the line. And I also believe that you might see the Giants tomorrow looking to get better on the interior or maybe even on the outside to push Evan Neal, because I'm not convinced that Evan Neal is in the future plans. You always have to be patient with guys, even if they strike out and what your initial plan for them was. Because the thing about developing talent and players is that when it comes to the rookie guys, you still have them on their rookie deals. The Giants, in my opinion, made a massive upgrade on the offensive line coaching situation. So we're going to find out if that comes to fruition, because I've seen players like John Feliciano, even Eric Flowers, a guy that was hated amongst Giant fans, improve their games in other scenarios. So we'll find out. Pick is in for the Tennessee Titans. Joe Alt's off the board. I think there's two guys here. You either go Fashanu or you go J.C. Latham. So we're going to find out what they do here. According to Mel, Odunze, Bowers, Turner, Latham amongst the top 5. Troy Fatuno, they have him at 4. 2 Washington players. I have a feeling that if Odunze still hanging around, I have a hard time believing he'll fall to 11. But in the event that if he did indeed fall to 11, it is interesting, because would the Minnesota Vikings be able to remarry him as well as his college quarterback, Michael Penix? I've said it on many a show that I think Penix fits the bill for what Minnesota does, because they don't ask a lot of running in that offensive scheme for O'Connell. Holy shit, it's J.C. Latham. Those women were not prepared for the pick. They don't look like they're real fans. Maybe they gave them merch right before the pick was made, but this is a phenomenal pick for a team that, in my opinion, finds the best player at that position since Taylor Lewan. You got Tanjay Spears backing up Tony Pollard. This guy is going to be an anchor for what they do. And, Will Levis is the guy for now, so we're going to find out. I feel that this organization squandered a decent amount of the prime of Derrick Henry with not being able to open up the offense more. I think by keeping Ryan Tannehill for too long, I think it just kind of limited their ceiling, so to speak. I'm not saying game managers can't win Super Bowls. I'm not going to say that, because we've seen it happen with the Jeff Hostetlers of the world. We've seen it happen with the Brad Johnsons. We've seen it happen with Trent Dilfer against my Giants. I'm not saying game managers can't win Super Bowls. But in today's game, more than ever, you need an explosive threat that you really think could do damage, so to speak. As the Giants go, once again, you're going to have to, at some point in this draft, consider getting another running back to share space back there with Devin Singletary. We do have Gray on the roster, who's going to be entering year 2. I would have to think that Breida could be cut. Breida potentially could be the odd man out. Wow, Latham legit picked up Commissioner Goodell. That is a happy young man. I'm excited to see what we do. Here tomorrow. Pick 47, assuming we don't trade up. Man, McCarthy is still hanging. Wow, check this out. They're talking about the Falcons considering going QB, even though they gave Kirk Cousins a huge deal. Are they going to lure somebody to trade, make a deal with them for McCarthy? This could be a very shrewd move. If indeed that's the way they go here. That could be a very shrewd move. Kirk Cousins, similar skill set to Michael Penix in the sense that, pocket guys. I'm not saying Penix can't get outside the boxes and run, but one would have to think that you always want mobility at that position, but you don't want run first, especially when you have the long injury history of a Penix. That's part of the reason why I think that he makes so much sense for Minnesota, because head coach Kevin O'Connell has never asked a lot in terms of running from his quarterbacks. You run when you have to, but there's not a lot of design runs in Minnesota's playbook for the quarterback position. This is going to be interesting. Ah, man, I'm still kind of shook about that move, man. I really thought it was going to be McCarthy. It kind of fell to them, but, nobody else took him yet. Nobody traded up for him. It's hard to part with big equity. J.J. McCarthy is hanging with his fam right now, kind of waiting for the call. If the Atlanta Falcons draft him here, I really believe it's to trade him to make a king's ransom. Or maybe it's to essentially develop. Because how many years does Kirk Cousins really have left in the NFL? It kind of reminds me of when Lamar Jackson got drafted and he was pissed. He was livid because he wanted to be a day one starter. He had to sit behind NFL Comeback Player of the Year right now, Mr. Joe Flacco, also a former Super Bowl champion as well as Super Bowl MVP. Michael Penix, they're kind of zooming in on him right now. Could he be the guy for Atlanta? Or is this just a bunch of smoke? Another thing, too, to consider. The New York Jets, while they do have a 4-time league MVP at the quarterback position, he's also 40 years old. Do the Jets consider drafting a quarterback because of the limited time that Aaron Rodgers has left in this league? I personally would not spend a first-round draft pick on him, on a quarterback, when you have the ability to do something that Aaron Rodgers never had, which is an all-world tight end. The Nathaniel Hackett offense doesn't necessarily promote big-time tight ends, but I do believe that tonight could be the night where you see something like that occur. Man, the drama is thick. I've seen a lot of drafts in my life, but I've never seen an NFL draft with this much drama. I'm going to announce the pick as soon as it comes in. Penix, McCarthy, Bo Nix. Those are your 3 big quarterbacks right now on the board. Cheers, boys. My panel is cheers in the neighbor's pick. Here we go. Selection's in.
Michael Penix Jr.
Wow, Michael Penix is an Atlanta Falcon. Does this force Minnesota to trade up now? Or Denver, for that matter. Good for him. I must admit, I'm a little shocked. This is a stunner. They got that right. I thought for sure they were going edge rusher here. This is shocking. I'm still not convinced that this is not a move to make another trade. We've seen it before and happen in drafts. Not frequently, but it has happened that a player would get drafted and then get traded. Unbelievable. This was undeniably the shock of the draft. And with Penix going before McCarthy as well, maybe the Giants don't look that crazy for passing on JJ. But I am shocked that he went this early. I did not think it was going to happen given his injury history. He is a lefty. And that's another thing, too. Historically, the New York Giants don't mess with left-handed quarterbacks, because I saw some people in Giants pages saying they wanted Penix. Outside of the late Jared Lorenzen, who was a backup for Eli Manning, no, because I remember the Giants had an opportunity to get Brunell, who had a hell of a career. Not quite Hall of Fame, but he was damn good. A couple of Pro Bowls in there. This is interesting. This is very, very interesting. I thought for sure, not for sure, but I thought there was a distinct possibility that you were going to get a Dunze and potentially Penix at the pro level again and, playing together. New York Jets gotta be in the market for Rome Odunze at this point. Mike Williams is on a 1-year deal. Prove it. Stay healthy. And you've got former Rookie of the Year Garrett Wilson as your 1A. So, picking up a Rome Odunze here could potentially make sense. I don't necessarily think it would be the worst idea in the world for the Jets to go O-line. But when you spent money on Tyron Smith, does it make sense to put that kind of big capital into another lineman? I mean, I always say you can never have enough blockers, but the Jets could get really good at a couple of other places. And with Aaron Rodgers having limited time, I mean, who knows? Could it be Brock Bowers? I suggested with the Bears on the clock right now, I suggested that maybe they go Brock Bowers, and now you put together him and Cole Kmet, which could potentially have a positive impact similar to what Rob Gronkowski and the late Aaron Hernandez had in the brief time that they were together. So this is going to be interesting. I am going to announce the next couple of picks, hang with you for a few more, and then I'm going to get out of here and actually decompress and enjoy the draft just like everyone else who's a big fan. Might be back a little later, and I appreciate you guys hanging with me. You guys could be hanging anywhere. This thing is covered everywhere, but I appreciate you guys hanging with me. I am truly shocked about this Penix move, though. I did not see this coming. Unbelievable. J.J. McCarthy, the guy who is still falling. Minnesota and Denver looks like legitimately could get the services of McCarthy here. I did not see that Penix move, though. That is a true shock. Interesting draft fact here. The Chicago Bears are the only franchise that hasn't had a 30-plus passing touchdown season by a quarterback. That is pretty remarkable when you consider how long the Bears have been around. Now, granted, different eras, different times. It is most definitely a passing league now. All right, the pick is in for the Chicago Bears. They're second in the first round. Oh, wow. They took Odunze. Jets have a free crack at Brock Bowers. Give Aaron Rodgers something he has never truly had. I'm happy for Odunze. This kid is going to be a day one impact guy. And now you have an offense that features Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen. That is a nice little receiving room. Still feel that they should have rolled with Justin Fields. We'll find out. New York Jets are on the clock, a.k.a. the Tenants. And as soon as the Jets pick, I am going to be getting out of here. For now. Wow, two Washington guys back to back. I personally thought they were going to play together. I don't think too many publications had Penix going in the top 10, even with the quarterback craze happening. And I certainly don't think that they had McCarthy slipping this far either. I mean, it basically lines up for the Minnesota Vikings. Ooh. The Jets traded back. Minnesota's got 10 and 11. They're definitely going to get McCarthy at one of these picks, right? They got to. Maybe Terry and Arnold? That team definitely needs help in the secondary. Our first trade. The Minnesota Vikings and the New York Jets just did some business together. Okay, they mixed it up here. The Jets are at 11. ESPN had the metric that the Vikings had 10 and 11. Okay, the Jets moved back one spot. They got to get McCarthy here. I can't see them passing on him here. All right, looks like JJ Looks like JJ is not going to be too far away in terms of region from where he played his college football. 447 and counting, waiting on the pick. Zappy just texted me in our group thread. He's like, did the Minnesota Vikings really just stay pat and get JJ McCarthy? They certainly did. There's always a lot of they did not stay pat, Zappy. They actually moved up a spot. He may have not seen that yet.
What has this Bears staff done to create a foundation for success right away?
I'm going to get out of here, guys. The hour is coming up, and they are on a commercial break. If you are watching from home, JJ McCarthy's the pick. Until next time, I'm Richie. Thanks for hanging. This was fun.